Hey, what's up everyone, Raging Golden Eagle here, having way too much fun, as always. And oh man, how many videos so far have I done on the Philly sugary beverage tax and the complete disaster it's shaping out to be? This has to be the fourth one. But I just can't help it, this is just the gift that keeps on giving. And it makes it even funnier that with each successive failure, there's still idiots that support this kind of shit. But then again, they're probably communists too, so it makes sense. But now, the unintended side effects are just getting hilarious. From Coke to Coors, Philly soda tax leading to alcoholism as beer now cheaper than soda. You want to pop back a nice refreshing beverage? Well, that previously expensive frosty beer is suddenly a lot more affordable given what's happening to sugary beverages. In a pretty hilarious way, we're kind of reverting back to the Middle Ages. Back then, a lot of people drank alcohol simply because it was safer than drinking water. In the days before widespread drinking water and water purification, turns out alcohol served that purpose pretty well. And now, funny enough, since beer is cheaper than soda, you're gonna see people simply replacing their previous soda habit with a beer habit. Not just going back to water like some people insisted they would do. For these same morons though, I know what their quote-unquote solution is gonna be. Just tax beer more, right? That's always the answer. But enough of that, let's get into this hilarity. Philadelphia's tax on sugary drinks has made soda more expensive than beer in the city. The Tax Foundation released a new study on the excise tax last week, finding that the 1.5 cent per ounce tax has fallen short of revenue projections, cost jobs, and has forced some Philadelphians to drive outside the city to buy groceries. And in case that confuses some of you out there, I explained that in one of the previous videos. The reason they go out of the city to buy groceries is if they have to go out of the city to buy their soda anyway, they may as well do the rest of their grocery shopping while they're there. It's just the most efficient way to do things. But even I didn't know it was this bad. The study finds that the tax is 24 times higher than the Pennsylvania tax rate on beer. Purchases of beer are also now less expensive than non-alcoholic beverages subject to the tax in the city. Empirical evidence from a 2012 journal article suggests that soda taxes can push consumers to alcohol, meaning it is likely the case that consumers are switching to alcoholic beverages as a result of the tax. And this part here is the best one. The paper, aptly titled From Coke to Coors, further shows that switching from soda to beer increases total caloric intake, even as soda taxes are generally aimed at caloric reduction. Well played, totalitarians, well played. Now these people are not only getting wasted, but even more calories than they would be if they just stuck to soda. But hey, at least that means less of that evil sugar, right? Totally worth it. And if you think this is bad enough, it actually just keeps getting better. While not terribly surprising, the study found that while Philly's soda tax was sold to taxpayers as a way to raise money for local schools, less than half of the proceeds are actually being used for that purpose. Oh my god, I am so shocked. Government creates a tax, promises to do one thing with the extra money, and then doesn't? And the funniest thing about all of this is that you know the next election cycle they're going to be pitching for some tax increases on something else for the local schools that are suffering from lack of funding, which they should have gotten from this tax increase. And the cycle is going to repeat itself forever until the idiots finally wake up. So basically it's going to be repeating forever. The Tax Foundation points out that unlike most cities, Philadelphia passed the tax specifically to raise revenue, not to fight obesity. The city even includes diet sodas in its tax as a way to raise money for pre-kindergarten programs. However, less than half of the $39.4 million collected since the tax went into effect on January 1st have gone to education funding. Man, what a surprise. So where's that money going? The tax was originally promoted as a vehicle to raise funds for pre-kindergarten education, but in practice it awards just 49% of the soda tax revenues to local pre-K programs. Another 20% of the soda tax revenues fund government employee benefits or city programs, of course. Gotta keep the pension Ponzi scheme running somehow, right? While the rest of the money will go towards parks, libraries, and community schools. So pretty much government doing as government always does. And speaking of, another thing they always seem to do is when they make these damn predictions of how much money they expect to make from these tax increases, they always seem to make them under the assumption that people aren't going to adjust their behaviors to the tax increase. Collections from the soda tax are also well below original projections of $92 million per year due to tax avoidance. They really should have put that in quotes, honestly. Because literally all these people do is just go outside the city borders and buy their soda there. What are you gonna do, make it illegal to leave and buy soda in a place that has less tax? I wouldn't be surprised if they actually did that. The US government actually has precedent for that type of shit. But something tells me things will go, well, about as well as this tax if they attempted it. Soda sales in Philadelphia have also declined since the tax went into effect at the beginning of 2017, threatening the long-run sustainability of the tax. Again, what did I just say about these morons making these predictions under the assumption that people won't change their behavior? And idiots keep falling for this, they really do. According to some local distributors and retailers, sales have declined by nearly 50%. This is likely primarily due to higher prices, which discourage purchasing beverages in the city. You think? And damn, I am not lying. I cannot wait to see where this goes from here. We've already had the obvious economic impacts. Now we have a raise in alcoholism, and also proof that they're misallocating the funds. But you know what? Let's just double down. I'm sure more government intervention is the solution. It always is. And that's all I've got to say, guys. Thanks for listening.